What's up, Acolyte Squad? My name is Prince, and I'm an urban acolyte. This is my reaction / review to the season 2 finale of The Mandalorian. I believe the episode is titled The Rescue, right? So first off, before I get into everything, hey man, I want to give a special shout out. I want to thank everyone who has left comments on my video that I don't even remember recording before I moved, when I said that I didn't, why Luke would not train Grogu. I want to say thank you to all of you because you spoiled the episode for me. And that is the reason that everyone who's leaving comments, you're all going to be blocked from the channel. So, if you don't want to watch anymore, I don't give a fuck. But thanks for spoiling the episode. Yeah, that's all I really got to say for that. So I guess you thought you were going to get some big I'm sorry or whatever. No, I'm not sorry, because I said what I felt and what I read. I was basically giving you guys Luke's history as far as what's canon, and that's how I arrive at my decisions, right? I say what I think based on what's there, and that's about it, right? So now that I've spoiled the episode for anybody who, for whatever reason, started watching this video without actually seeing the episode, hey man, that's on you. But anyway, let's get into the way that I do things. So the quick rundown, we saw the team, the squad, go and disable the what is that ship called? Like a Y-wing or whatever. The Imperial transports that was carrying, I can't even remember anybody's name now. That's how crazy the last 2 days have been. Anyway, the clone doctor, right? The doctor that was the cloner, he was on the ship. They disabled it. We got a nice little speech from one of the Imperial pilots who knew all about Cara Dune. He read her rights and, let us see how the Imperial propaganda machine worked as far as trying to get in her head and everything about the Rebel Alliance and what happened to Alderaan. And she took him out. She shot him in the eye just like I knew she would. So they got the transport. It was no surprise to me that Bo-Katan was going to be part of the rescue mission. Where the surprise came in was that Mercedes, Sasha Banks. Sasha Banks was part of the rescue mission after she said that she wasn't in any more episodes after that. The first one, the one thing that I wondered about was where was the guy who was with them? He wasn't there. Like what happened to him? Was he just not there at the cantina? Did his character get killed off screen some kind of way? Who knows? But anyway, so we know how that was going to go down. Bo-Katan is like, I want Gideon. I'll help you rescue the child. We saw a nice little fight between Boba Fett and Sasha Banks' character. I forget her character's name now. Boba Fett was he was outmatched, like he was outclassed. But I think this was kind of setting everything up like, yo man, he's good, but he's older, and the actual mission was going to send the 3 femme fatales. I'm wondering if anybody had any issue with the whole girl power aspect of that it's Fennec Shand, Cara Cynthia Dune, Sasha Banks, and Bo-Katan Kryze are running a diversion. They're trying to take that Imperial, what is it? I don't even remember what kind of ship it was. A light freighter or whatever it was. It wasn't a Star Destroyer, but they're trying to take Moff Gideon's ship because, Din Djarin is like, look, if you guys can take his ship, it would really help you as far as this conquest of Mandalore. And Boba Fett had some feelings about that. And that's what, really kind of kicked off the fight between his character, Boba Fett, and Sasha Banks' character, that was a cool fight scene. This entire episode was just action packed from beginning pretty much to the end, right? Until we got the big goodbye scene at the end, right? So they take down the ship. They get all the way to the bridge, and they're thinking, I think the way the plan was supposed to work out was they were going to be the ones to deal with the Dark Troopers, but that's not what happened at all. Din Djarin had to get past them to get to Grogu's holding cell, and they were just coming online. Din Djarin really had his hands full with the one that he took on. He ended up spacing the rest of them, and as we know, with them, being droids and being flight capable, they were able to get back to that light that I think it's Aquarius class or something like that. I don't do ships. I don't care about ships. So if you're one of those people who's getting upset, that I'm messing up the name of the ship or whatever, look, man, this is not the channel for you, because I don't give a fuck about any damn ships in Star Wars. I'm focused on the story and the hero's journey. Those little minor details just not important to me, right? Because there's a bigger thing here. That's the thing. Like, everybody's like, oh, your predictions are wrong and this and that, and I'm like, no, I'm the hero's journey guy here. I can't talk about anything until the story has been told, right? If I'm talking about, well, I don't think this is going to happen, what did I say? I don't think this is going to happen, not this is not going to happen. I don't know why, and this isn't just like the trolls and the haters. This is everybody in general. Why do y'all give me so much authority when it comes to Star Wars? I'm just a dude talking about this stuff, and I get paid because you guys watch the videos. If you stop watching the videos, I stop getting paid. And I mean, honestly, I have other channels that I really would prefer to work on than recording this video. And I'm keeping it up. I'm keeping it real. I mean, go back, check my history. All of 2020, I've said, yo, man, I'm not really feeling Star Wars. I'm not feeling this channel, right? So all the trolls, because I have to go and delete that stuff. So I'm seeing all of it, and it's not somebody was like, oh, I think the internet is getting you. The internet doesn't get to me because I have an online business. I have other things that I do on the internet. I play games on the internet. The internet doesn't get to me. It's just the fucking Star Wars community. I'm really kind of tired of it. I'm just being, I don't want to really do this anymore. I haven't wanted to do it. It's just like, oh fuck, I got to talk about the Mandalorian now. I miss the days when I could just watch Star Wars and nobody would ask me questions. Nobody would bother me about it. And then one day I decided to share Star Wars with the community that I had who was interested in meditation, right? And that's the community I want to go back to serving, right? All the Star Wars shit. Okay, I was wrong about Snoke and Palpatine, and I said I didn't think Luke was going to come and train Grogu. How many of you motherfuckers have been meditating? After every video I say, keep on breathing. That means meditate, right? I said, hey man, we're doing a 6,000 kettlebell swing challenge this month, 200 a day. Who's doing the kettlebell swings? I heard nothing about that. But it is what it is, right? So, I mean, the Dark Troopers end up coming back. Din Djarin has his little duel with Moff Gideon, which I wasn't sure if Din Djarin was going to have the duel or if it would be Bo-Katan. But I was like, he is carrying that Beskar steel, and his armor is pure Beskar, right? It's funny. It's like Moff Gideon had this weapon that gave him this power, this control over Mandalore. And the one thing that could defeat him, he created himself, basically. How did Din Djarin get his armor? Retrieving the child. That was his payment for retrieving the child, right? In the process, now he has the child. He seeks out Ahsoka Tano, right? Ahsoka defeats the magistrate. She gets that Beskar. Well, the magistrate was like, look, if you kill this Jedi for me, I'll give you this spear. It's pure Beskar, right? Well, Ahsoka defeated her, and he ends up with the spear anyway. So Moff Gideon, like created his own undoing. He created the perfect weapon to take him down. But with him being the schemer and the plotter that he is, that played right into his hands, because it's like, well, first off, he was like, look, I've already got what I need. You can have the child. And that, I knew, we all had to have known that he was going to attack him and try to, take him out. But that didn't work out in his favor, right? Because of the Beskar. But then I started wondering if maybe he threw the battle on purpose, or if he was just like, you know what? Win, lose, or draw, if this dude spares my life, I can get this to work in my favor, right? I don't know if when Cara Dune arrested him, if he still managed to keep that blaster pistol that he picked up. But when they got to the bridge, it was just like, yo, well, are you going to do him, or how is this going to work out? Because the Darksaber can only be transferred by combat. You can't just find it. And Din Djarin was like, I don't care about this game. I don't want to be any part of that, right? But it put him in a quandary, where it's like, well, you've got the thing that Bo-Katan wants. She feels that she's the rightful ruler of Mandalore, and she needs the symbol, the sword, the Excalibur, to prove it. But Din Djarin won it through combat, right? And I'm guessing Moff Gideon took it from her through combat. And we still don't know the story of how he acquired it, right? It's that she had it, he has it now, and he's saying he's, with anyone who has that weapon is the rightful ruler of Mandalore, controls Mandalore. So we still don't have the story on how he got it, and I'm assuming that we will still get that story, right? Giancarlo Esposito, from what he said, is he's like, all the questions will be answered in season 4. So there's more to his story. As far as, and then there's the big thing that I've already, this is the big, right here, is that Luke Skywalker saves them from the Dark Troopers when they're coming back, right? Luke comes in, he wrecks shop. It would have been awesome to be able to enjoy that scene the way everyone else did. Geekdom said he was in tears. I probably would have enjoyed it, but you motherfuckers spoiled. You motherfuckers spoiled the episode for me. Like, I'm just sitting there like, oh man, they're pinned down. Any minute, Luke's gonna come in and save the day, right? I'm sure, I guess the trolls won, right? You don't care whether I'm right or wrong, right? And I shouldn't even say trolls. I bet it's only like one person, one cocksucker that has no life, that they made 50 accounts just to keep commenting, oh, Prince, how does it feel to be wrong? How does it feel to be wrong? You want me to tell you how it feels to be wrong? Well, yesterday we got on a bus. We went down to Pattaya because we had to pick up our little wedding glamour shot pictures. We hit Walking Street. I had pizza and tacos, and they were really good. My wife did a little twerk show for me at iBar, which was right next to Mike's New York restaurant or whatever. We walked back. We had a long walk, walked off all the food, went to sleep, woke up. I smashed, and then we picked up our pictures and we took the bus and came back. And so, if you want to know how it feels to be wrong, it felt pretty damn good. I had a great day, right? And then I accidentally was trying to check the status of my other channels, and just happened to see the comments on this channel on, that some cocksuckers decided to leave. And once I end this video, please don't, oh, he's triggered, he's mad. No, I'm going to go enjoy the rest of my day, and I'm going to forget about this, because that's how it is when you meditate, right? I get mad I get angry in the moment, and then it's over with, right? So don't think you have any kind of power or control over me. You'll still be waking up early in the morning and leaving all kinds of comments and laughing in your basement. And I'll probably be asleep or working out, doing my whole urban acolyte, real life Jedi type thing. Because that's how I do, and I won't even be thinking about this shit anymore, right? I'll be on to the next video. Because that's really how it is. That's my mindset at this point. I say what I gotta say, and then it's on to the next video. I didn't even remember that I made that video till people started pointing, oh man, this isn't gonna age well. I don't give a fuck how it ages. I already made the video. It's on to the next one, right? Or on to my next channel, right? Which that's what I actually, once I get this video posted, that's what I'm gonna be doing. I'm gonna be working on homework for my other channels, right? And I'm gonna be thinking about this. I'm not putting too much energy or effort into Star Wars, right? And it's because I don't like it enough. I don't like doing this enough to let it keep me up at night or to make me lose sleep, right? There's more important things out there, like telling people to meditate, showing the people who actually care, look, this is how you pick up a kettlebell and change your life, change your body, change your mind. This is how you breathe. This is how you move. This is how you do everything that I've been talking about. Star Wars inspired me to do. Now this is where I'm gonna show you how to do it, and that's not happening on this channel because there's too many dickheads that come here talking about the Jedi code and they care about Snoke and Luke Skywalker and Rey's and Mary Sue and all this bullshit that's like irrelevant. It's like totally irrelevant, right? But anyway, so the big three things, I'm gonna do this really fast. What does this do for Din Djarin's story? Din Djarin has the Darksaber now. He's the rightful ruler of Mandalore, and that puts a huge target on his back. How does he get involved? He doesn't even know, right? He is literally Arthur who pulled the sword from the stone, right? He's the baddest warrior, and he's Mandalore now. And some of y'all, I'm not cussing and upset with everybody that's watches my videos. Just it's like Andre Black Nerd said at a convention when I met him. It was like, you can get 100 comments saying you're awesome, and then 2 that say, you suck, you're the worst YouTuber in the world. And those 2 will stand out over the 100, right? I mean, I appreciate, everybody. Prince, you're the best Star Wars person. I'm not the best Star Wars person, and I have no desire to be. I really don't. I'm just a dude talking to y'all, saying this is what I think, and that's it. And win, right, wrong, whatever, I give 0 fucks at the end of the day, right? I'm just grateful that people watch my channel, whether they want to troll or not, right? Right? The video didn't age well, but I saw a spike in my views, even though I hadn't posted a video in 2 days because of that video. So, I mean, like I said, win, lose, or draw, either way I win. If people want to come and tell me I'm wrong, I win. People want to tell me I'm the greatest, I win, right? I only lose when nobody's watching at all. And then I just go do something else, right? Because there's other things that I can do that I want to do, right? And I am going to do. But in the case of Din Djarin, right, just like I don't really want to do this Star Wars shit anymore, he doesn't want to be Mandalore. He's like, my mission is the child. And now the child is gone with Luke, and what did he say? I'm going to see you again, right? But he's got to bide his time until, because I said I don't think Luke is going to train Grogu, meaning Grogu's not going to go with Luke and be a Padawan and this and that. I think that he might train him for a little while, but it's like we know the story of Luke Skywalker, the legends of Luke, and there's no mention of Grogu, no student with him. So where is that story going? What is Luke doing with the child between now that we've seen him, stroll in with R2-D2, take out these death troopers and say, my life, I'm swearing my life on his safety, right? Until the point that he takes on Ben Solo, right? Where's Grogu when Luke is out there exploring that temple that dates back to the High Republic with Ben Solo and Lord Santeca? So when I say that I don't think Luke is going to train Grogu, and people are like, you're wrong, or how does it feel to be wrong? Well, how do you know that I'm wrong? We still don't know. We saw, I said I didn't think that Luke would be the one to show up and answer the call, but that's because I didn't want to see that. I didn't want this to touch on the Skywalker saga, right? And as great as a whole lot of y'all, even people close to me, the homie Chris Ryans was like, holy crap, this was awesome. I was disappointed by the episode. And I'm gonna be real with it. I was disappointed, right? Because I kept saying, I want to see somebody else. I want to see somebody else. Where's Quinlan Voss? What is Cal Kestis up to? I was like, well, I don't think it'll be Cal, because then we kind of know if they're doing a Fallen Order 2, we kind of know how the story is going to turn out. Now, hey man, they could completely shock everybody. You get Fallen Order 2 and then Cal Kestis dies at the end. That really doesn't make for a good video game ending, right? That was the problem. That I remember the Wachowskis did that thing in the Journey of Neo or whatever, the Matrix video game that came out years ago and was awesome, right? I wish I could still play it, especially if they gave us a new version, of course, long as it's not the people who did Cyberpunk 2077 whatever's going on with that game, right? But I remember they were like, yo man, so like the at this point it's like you had the fight with Smith, and he was like, at this point this is where the movie ends and Neo's journey ends, but in a video game you can't really do the hero sacrifices himself and dies at the end, so we're gonna give you a cool boss fight with a big monster to fight, to end the game, so you feel like you got your money's worth, right? So, I was like, well, if you have Cal Kestis show up, then you kind of blow the load on whatever the story is going to be for Fallen Order 2, the sequel. And I was like, hey man, Quinlan Voss is unaccounted for, or have somebody new show up. But they had Luke Skywalker show up. They did fan service, and now we've got to add on to Luke's story. And we got to start asking questions. Well, how long was Grogu with Luke? Was he where's Grogu? Like I said, where's Grogu and Luke is training Ben Solo? How come Luke made it sound like, or so far the canon made it sound like Luke only trained Leia and then Ben, and he was with Ben for a few years before he opened it up to everybody else, right? If Grogu was there the whole time, maybe he was just on the ship when we see, this other stuff, because he's still kind of young, I'm thinking. Well, what happened to Grogu on, when Ben burned down the Jedi Temple? Well, we didn't really see Grogu in any of the pictures when we saw Luke with his students, and Luke didn't know where some of his students were. It was like, well, he left with a handful of my students and killed the rest. Well, maybe Grogu managed to not be there. Maybe he was somewhere, right? So it's like all kinds of who and what and all kinds of questions. And then my thing is, you mean to tell me you're going to do The Mandalorian 2 more seasons with no child? What is Moff Gideon? What was he trying to do? And he's like, well, we got everything that we need. His blood has special properties. What special properties? What's special about him? Right? Is it because I started thinking, well, he's got this healing power, but then we saw Rey and Kylo Ren do it, but they were a dyad in the Force, so they could do pretty much anything. I'm thinking the sky's the limit on their Force powers, right? The way Palpatine made it sound that the big rule of 2 thing was really, the whole point was to become a dyad in the Force and to basically be like the Mortis gods, but in the physical plane, not just on Mortis, right? That's what I'm thinking being a dyad in the Force actually was, right? And you have to go back to the Tarkin novel to check me on that, about what Palpatine was saying, unleashing the full powers of the dark side, right? So Kyle, the whole Reylo thing is a big, huge Sith secret, right? Unleashing the full powers of the dark side, right? But so we saw Force healing there, and that was introduced by Grogu. So maybe Grogu's blood has the ability, has like regenerative abilities, processes, right? And who knows, and maybe they were trying to, all of those deformed people, maybe they were already deformed or whatever, and they were trying to figure out, either we can transfer force abilities or bestow force abilities to people because his blood will start to replicate or raise the midichlorian count in other people, or I don't know. I really don't know, right? But what's so special about him is blood now, right? And where are the samples, right? If they're on the ship still, or on that lab still, if Gideon didn't think, oh, well, I'm going to take the samples and we'll have the kid, but we're going to send them off to another lab that I have somewhere else, or maybe he is working for Palpatine and they're on their way to Exegol, right? Like, there's so many questions that are still there, that this whole thing with Luke, Grogu going with Luke, is not, that's okay. Now we can really it's like now we can move the story forward, that with the stuff that has to deal with Mandalore and the Empire and any connection to Palpatine, and Grogu is safe. He's safe while we deal with this, and then once we can move this stuff forward, then Grogu can come back. Because I think he's coming back. I don't think he's gonna stay with Luke, right? I just don't, right? Just like I just don't. And I might be wrong about this in a year, 2 years from now. Well, a year from now, the show won't even be back because it doesn't come back till Christmas of 2021, right? 2 years from now, oh man, it's another video, won't age well. Well, I don't care, because in 2 years I probably won't remember anyway. I'll be focused on something else, or maybe my Marvel videos will finally start to pop off. I don't know, or maybe I'll just say fuck it. Maybe this time next year is like the Mandalorian season 3. Okay, I might make a video on it. I might not. My vlog is more important. That's actually where I'd like to be. Season 3, I'd like for my vlog to be more important, and I do this shit for fun. And people don't like it, I don't give a fuck. I don't. Like, that's 2020 in a nutshell. The year 2020. I don't give a fuck. I'm sorry for, I genuinely am sorry for people who have had lost family members this year, and there are people who are subscribed to this channel, and I say that because I know they told me, like, I'm sorry about that, but hey man, this year sucked. I'm glad Trump is on his way out. Dump Trump, right? Fuck him. I'm not getting all political because I don't like Trump personally. It has nothing to do with politics. I haven't, if some of y'all know, I think I've said it before, I read about Donald Trump in 4th grade weekly readers, and I didn't like him, and nothing has changed, right? And weekly readers, 4th grade, when was that? 1989, right? So when I say I don't like Trump, fuck him, I'm going back, I'm taking it back to 89, right? Some of y'all weren't even born yet, right? They're watching me, right? That means you're younger than my little brother, right? Well, my little brother was born when I was in 3rd grade, so yeah, that's going back. I don't like Trump, right? I'm glad he's on his way out. I don't care for Biden either, but it is what it is. He's not Trump, so, Star Wars is... The Mandalorian, we had to wait all year for the Mandalorian. Star Wars really did do shit this year. They pushed back the High Republic. People either loved or hated the Rise of Skywalker. And then what are they doing next year? I don't know the dates on anything, but it sounds like they're not doing anything. But I mean, they're doing stuff. The books are coming out. The comic books are back out. But I'm under the impression that we're not getting anything until The Mandalorian comes back, unless some of those other series are coming out sooner. But it sounded like none of them are coming until 2022, right? when is the next Star Wars Celebration weekend? Did they like move that back 2 years to 2022? Is there one next year? I think they pushed it back to 2022. So it's like, excuse me, I really got the hiccups, and I'm not editing any of this. What is, it's just like I said, this episode, and it didn't have anything to do with me having the episode spoiled. Like, I felt this way yesterday. I was like, man, should I do a predictions video? I was like, nope, because it's like, whatever happens, whether there's a cliffhanger, somebody gets killed, some major character dies, it's like there won't be anything, because most people don't care about the books. Yeah, the High Republic books start coming out in January. There's a whole lot of stuff High Republic related. January the 4th, right? My mom's birthday, and a bunch of stuff is going to start rolling out. Most people don't care. I mean, I'm getting the book. I've pre-ordered a bunch of the books, but I'm only interested in the High Republic. I'm more interested in it now because of the ACOLYTES series, but when is that coming? Well, we might not get that for 2 years. It might not come till 2022, 2023, right? Before Rogue Squadron comes. We don't know anything about that. So, I mean, I wanted something that really didn't touch on the Skywalkers, and I really didn't think a 70-year-old Mark Hamill was going to come out and be Luke Skywalker. Now we know that wasn't him fighting, right? That was something. That's why that's why the robe stayed, But if that really was Mark, and they de-aged his face or whatever, he came in there, picked up Grogu, and walked off with him over his shoulder, and said a couple words to Pedro Pascal. Pedro, right, as Jeremy calls him, I think. I don't know. I saw Pedro Pascal making fun of Jeremy, but I never watched Jeremy's videos because I don't give a shit what he has to say. That's awesome. I didn't think that would happen. I didn't think it would happen, right? We need to remember whose name is on the channel? Mine, right? I'm not sponsored by Disney or Lucasfilm or anybody. I'm speaking for me, what I think, right? And at the end of the day, the only thing that really matters is what's the lesson that we can get from this, and how can we examine the story, right? So the big takeaway from this episode, Din Djarin is basically Mandalore now, and he doesn't give a fuck about being Mandalore, doesn't know anything about Mandalore other than what he's been told as a child of the Watch. And this has basically become King Arthur, right? The Sword in the Stone, that version of King Arthur, where you've got, little Arthur Pendragon, who's basically been a stable boy, then made a squire, and now you're a knight. And not only are you a knight, but you're king. He has the Darksaber. And the only way and he wants to give it away. He doesn't want it. He doesn't want anything to do with this. And now he's been thrust forward and center to deal with the Mandalorian restoration. And to the cocksuckers who keep saying, how does it feel to be wrong? This is the funny thing about this, right? This is how I always break even, right? Because y'all focus on this minor thing where I said this is just a thing to get Grogu off the map so they can move the story forward. It's going to get really dangerous for him. But what about before the Mandalorian started? And I was like, yo, man, this is going to deal with the restoration of Mandalore. And I thought the child would actually be like some, descendant of Bo-Katan, or not, Duchess Satine, right? Or one of the ruling houses of Mandalore. I thought the child would have something to do with that. Grogu, I didn't think was going to go with Luke because Jason Ward, back when they were filming season 1, said that he saw like Yoda species, like dolls or puppets of Yoda species. So I was thinking that Grogu would end up going back with like Yoda species would be where he gets returned. It's another reason that I said I didn't think Luke was going to get him. Didn't I have one video where I was like, yo man, there's a reason I think he won't go with Luke, but it's like a major spoiler and I don't want to say it. That was why. Like, you can go back, look back 3 years ago. Jason Ward said that, right? And man, whether he was wrong or not, I don't know. He's the one that saw it, right? He also thought that the armorer's helmet might be Sabine Wren's helmet, and it turned out to be the armor, right? That's kind of the reason why I was like, all these people were rumors and leaks. I'm not following them anymore, because one, some of them get real immature, and then some of them just say shit that's like flat out wrong, but nobody says anything to them. Like Grace Randolph and her whole I heard a rumor that Pedro Pascal got upset and stormed off the set, and there's going to be issues in the last half of season 2. They'll focus on other characters who might get spinoffs because Pedro Pascal quit, right? That didn't happen. Din Djarin removed his helmet in the last 2 episodes, right? And on top of that, it's like, well, he's mostly doing voiceover work. So, Lateef Crowder dos Santos and the other guy, they're the ones in the suit. You know, he was in the suit more than season 1, but it's kind of like, Pedro Pascal can shoot a whole season in like a week. Right? Because the rest of it, what is it, ADR or something? When you go and you're he's in a room just like I am right now, watching the screen and speaking his lines, and that's it. Right? And then, okay, now we actually need you in costume to take off your helmet or do this thing. And, we might actually need you to do it. Right? But yeah, he was upset because he couldn't remove his helmet. So, I kept saying this is going to deal with the restoration of Mandalore. I haven't said it as late as this summer, right? I was like, they're going to move into dealing with the restoration of Mandalore. This is supposed to be like Game of Thrones, except instead of, what is it, the Iron Throne or whatever the fuck it was, the throne, of whatever the fuck the whole Game of Thrones thing was. It's like, well, you're the ruler of Mandalore, right? The person who has the Darksaber, right? That's what we're moving into. That's what this is. That's what I've really been saying all along. But, you guys have fun. You spoil the episode and you talk shit. Have fun. You're going to be blocked because I don't have the energy or the effort or the desire to do it, right? To play those little, reindeer games. I don't celebrate Christmas, motherfucker. So, go do that somewhere else, or don't. Or you can. I think the way YouTube blocks people is you see your comment, but no one else does. So, play the reindeer games. You be playing with yourself, which is, it sounds about right. But, anyway, I don't know. I'm really tired, and I'm still kind of annoyed that, I had the episode spoiled, and I couldn't just come and give y'all a regular review like I'd like to. So it is what it is. I might talk about more Mandalorian stuff tomorrow or in another video. I kind of want to talk about Spider-Man, so, that might be what I do. If y'all watch the video, great. If you don't, great. I'm just going to make whatever fucking videos I want to make at this point. If people watch them or don't watch them, on to the next video. If I say something wrong about the MCU, on to the next video. I'll leave it up to somebody else to keep tabs on what I say, and somebody can make a video and have my receipts or whatever, right? But all I really got to say is, if you're watching a geek culture video that's made by me and you're hanging on to every word about shit that doesn't mean anything, when I talk about Snoke or Luke Skywalker, but then when I start actually talking about these are the things you can actually, the lessons you can actually take and apply to your real life. This is how you break down a story and start to analyze it. And then you can start to think about because everything is a narrative in the real world, right? We're always telling stories, and there's always a hero's journey when you start to look at some star athlete or somebody, LeBron James, even KD, right? You can start to look at, because it's all about archetypes, right? Read Carl, what's his name? Jung? Is it Carl Jung? Jung, Jung, right? I think he studied under Freud. And then look at Campbell. You look at some other people too, right? Start talking about archetypes, right? That's really what this is about. The other stuff is for fun, but people get caught up in the fun stuff and miss the real stuff. It's just like, here's a piece of candy, but you really need to eat your Brussels sprouts. I just want candy, right? Well, how many cavities do you have? The candy's not going to do you any good. You need some minerals and nutrients, some vitamins, right? Not these simple sugars. That's not, if you're crashing because you're diabetic, or you're what is it, hypoglycemic. Hyper is high, hypo is low, right? You might need some sweet tarts, you might need a Jolly Rancher, but when you need some actual nourishment, it's not going to do you any good. And I mean, it's a bunch of people, they do entertainment channels, and it's strictly entertainment. It is what it is. I'm trying to teach stuff, right? People get caught up on the bullshit and don't want the actual lesson. They don't want the vitamin. After a while, you just get tired of it. And it's like, you know what? Why don't I just go do something where I'm just teaching, and then I can tell a joke while I'm teaching, which is how the Star Wars thing started in the first place. I was teaching, and then it's, oh yeah, this is like when Luke Skywalker was in the cave on Dagobah. Right? That's how this actually started. But anyway, I'm running a timer, and this video is way longer than I want it to be. And I really am tired. And some of this is me being cranky because I'm tired. Right? But at the same time, I'm being honest, man. Like, just like Din Djarin doesn't give a fuck about being Mandalore, I don't give a fuck about being the best fucking Star Wars person on YouTube. Right? My wife doesn't like Star Wars. She'd rather me make videos about all the temples that we visited in the last year. Right? And I done filled up this GoPro, my memory cards, at least 3 memory cards with my GoPro. And then I got stuff all on my phone, videos and temples that we visited that I still gotta that I still gotta edit and turn into actual videos. Right? So the real talk, that's what I'd rather do, man. I'm tired of talking to y'all about, oh yeah, this is a Jedi, and this is the Buddhist origins of this, and this is the Force, and this is how the Force works, and this comes from Taoism, and this and that. I'm tired of that shit, man. Like, why I need to spoon feed people shit that I remember on my other channel, I talk a lot about this black guy that's a Tibetan monk who made a documentary film about Angkor Wat and the dynasty of black Buddhist kings who were in Cambodia. And I had no idea that Theravada Buddhism, as far as Southeast Asia, Theravada Buddhism got big in Cambodia. At that time, Cambodia was like a world power in a sense, maybe not the world, but in this region of the world. And they're responsible for Theravada Buddhism, being in Cambodia, Thailand, Myanmar, Laos, right? Before then, it was Mahayana Buddhism, which came down from China, to Shaolin, right? Zen, it's Mahayana Buddhism. So this, anyway, I made this image of like Yoda meditating, and I posted it on my on my personal Facebook profile. I was like, I know some of y'all subscribe to my YouTube channel or friended me on Facebook, but if you see, I really don't post much about Star Wars anymore. And I'm just telling y'all, like, this should come as no surprise to some people who like see my personal stuff. I was like, I just really don't, I'm not really feeling Star Wars anymore. As far as YouTube, I would rather make videos about the stuff I'm doing here in Thailand. The only thing is, like, since I've gotten here, I realize I don't know as much about Buddhism as I thought I did. And it's funny because my Asian religions teacher, Dr. Sid Brown, yes, I believe in calling people doctors who aren't medical doctors, right? If you earn a PhD, like the word doctor comes from doctore, right? Latin, meant teacher, right? If you watch Spartacus, right? What's his name? Peter, the black dude that was that got kicked in the This Is Sparta kick, right? In real life, who was that? Gerard Butler. In real life, was it Peter Minch or something like that? Kicked the shit out of a fucking guy who played King Leonidas. That dude is in his 50s and ripped 24/7, right? This dude got ripped for a movie. This guy's walking around looking like that every day, right? He was doctore in Spartacus, right? The teacher. He trained the gladiators in the ludus, right? Doctore means teacher. Medical doctor is a physician. Think about all the words: physician, physique, right? Physical deals with the body. I'm sure if I were to look up like the Latin etymology of the word physician and physique and all, it would have something to do with the body, right? So, Ben Shapiro, you're a fucking dumbass. It's not the first time I've said that. Anybody who agrees with no, Ben Shapiro agreed with it, but it was a Wall Street Journal guy who wrote it, I think. That guy's a fucking dumbass, right? And then he had a honorary doctorate degree from some school or whatever. Right. Anyway, this guy got upset with me because I posted that post about not really feeling Star Wars anymore. This channel, I'm being honest with y'all, I'm really not feeling this. So, it's like every time I see like negative stuff, it's like, fuck it, why am I doing it, right? If all I am is making myself a target to get trolled, then I might as well get trolled doing some shit that I actually care about, right? Because, if I'm passionate about something, it's like whatever other people say, it's not gonna matter, right? You should never let naysayers get you down about anything that you're passionate about, that you feel like it's worth doing. I don't feel like this is worth doing anymore. And I had another video where I was like, this might be my last video, right? And then I made another one. But, it was like, I really just wanted to watch The Mandalorian or anything else related to Star Wars and just be able to enjoy it on my own, right? Now, Roberto Blake is like, well, if you don't want to be the Star Wars ex-guru, you shouldn't have branded yourself that way. And I'm like, well, I don't feel like I ever did. I think y'all made that up. Y'all created that idea. I didn't. I was just like, I want to create a community I want to create a training community around Star Wars, right? But we train. And then when we're finished training, we geek out about Star Wars and the MCU and everything else, because the guys that I had in mind, that's what we do, right? Caleb is a Jeet Kune Do instructor and a personal trainer. And Billy did a lot of martial arts too. And they all got certified. Caleb, Billy, Eric, I think their friend, what's his name, Langston, I met all of them at a Luke Holloway workshop, Raw Combat. That's a YouTube channel I used to watch all the time back in the day. Dude from Australia was traveling all over the world, teaching military guys, bodyguards, bouncers, Raw Combat, right? And he's a Tai Chi guy at heart, right? I remember us going out and eating, and some dude was there, some weird motherfucker, one of these weird Tai Chi people that think you get chi magic and shit, but doesn't actually train. And Luke was like, yo, I know I teach like all of this stuff, this Raw Combat stuff. Most guys who are into it, they just want to know how to, like mash a motherfucker, right? He was like, but my style is actually Tai Chi. He was like, I've done a lot of silat, just traveling Southeast Asia and Indonesia, different Malay styles. But my style's really Tai Chi with a little bit of silat flavor to the applications. Right? And I remember when he was doing, when it was like all Tai Chi, because that's when I found him. Right? I think he came from the same lineage as Adam Meisner, who is going to be a topic for a video on my other channel once I get the Tai Chi videos rolling out over there. Right? But, I met all of them hanging out, with Luke, a dude that I met through YouTube. Matter of fact, another Raw Combat instructor was Mei Ling Ung. And why is that name stand out? Because Mei Ling Ung was in Wonder Woman. She's in Suicide Squad 2. She did a movie, the last Scorpion King movie, where she was, what is his name? Peter Minch or Peter Mensa? She was like his right-hand person. I'll say right-hand man, but she's a lady, right? What else has Mei Ling been in? Lady Blood Fight. She was in that with a bunch of badass chicks. Amy Johnson was the hero. Amy Johnson is stunt doubled for like somebody in like every superhero movie. Harley Quinn. She stunt doubled for Black Widow. I think she did a little bit. Laura Mary Kim also stunt doubled for Black Widow and Elektra. Then they fought each other in a little previous thing they did where it was supposed to be like Ahsoka Tano versus Bo-Katan. And it was funny because Amy Johnson was Ahsoka Tano, Laura Mary Kim was Bo-Katan with the Darksaber, but Laura Mary Kim is Ahsoka Tano's, like, basically she's Ahsoka Tano in Star Wars. She did the motion capture for Ahsoka in the Clone Wars, and then she was Rosario Dawson's double, in live action. And then I'm guessing she'll be it in the Ahsoka Tano series that's coming out, right? So that was kind of funny. But where I'm getting at is like through this, these are the kind of people that I designed this for, right? Caleb and Billy are like actually doing stunt double work, fight choreography for like small movie projects around Middle Tennessee now, right? Mei Ling is not somebody I hung out with, but part of that Raw Combat family. I found her through a Raw Combat video. She's actually in these movies now. I know she'd love to do Star Wars. So when I thought this up, there was always a physical component to it. There was a, hey man, let's sit around, talk about training, talk about Star Wars, talk about Captain America. Oh, but what did you think about that fight scene, dog? What do you think the guy who, actually I know who's the stunt double for Captain America, and he was also the double in season 1 of Daredevil, and that guy's name is Dabba-Dee-Ba-Da, and he trains this, and this, and I saw a video on his work, and then we just start geeking out all over again. And I'm saying all of that because, I'm just being real. That's what I created this for. And it's like, when you make something and you see it not be what you envision, you can either just roll with the punches. One of my business mentors, she did that. the movement maestro. You can follow her on Instagram if you're into movement stuff, but she doesn't do movement stuff, right? She started out, she went to physical therapy school, became a physical therapist, did the traditional thing. All right, I'm a physical therapist. I'm going to go into a clinic or a hospital. But she was like, but I want to do this thing working with CrossFitters because I like CrossFit. I'm very fit. I want to do physical therapy, have a physical therapy practice that focuses on corrective movement for CrossFitters, because if you do CrossFit and you're not in shape and you don't know what you're doing, you're going to fuck yourself up. If you're actually a legit CrossFit competitor and you're doing local CrossFit games, or you're trying to get into the big games, you're going to need somebody to work with you when you overtrain or do whatever, just part of being in a sport and you fuck your shit up, and I'm going to unfuck your shit, right? So she started out, that was her audience. But then as she's doing all of these things to grow her personal practice, because she was like, I'm not doing the traditional route. I'm doing this physical therapy practice for CrossFitters, and I'll do some personal training on the side. So maybe you want your own personal WODs or whatever, like a corrective WOD. I'll do that too, but you're going to have to pay me for a session, and I'm a doctor, right? A doctor of physical therapy, right? So you're going to have to pay me the way you would for an hour of a doctor's time, right? And she started her prices at one point. And so the marketing that she did for that, right? It's like, well, this is what I'm doing. But then people started saying, other physical therapists are like, I want to do the same thing you're doing in my area. She was in New York. Now she's in Los Angeles. But you're in New York and I'm in Texas. Shante, movement maestro, can you teach me how to do all the things that you're doing on Instagram where I can do them because I'm on Instagram, and your whole business, it seems to be, and more people started coming to her. And so she had this one thing in mind and she had this one audience, but then she transitioned, right? And somebody can say, well, Prince, you're talking about she did this, she created this thing and transitioned into this other thing. Why can't you do that? You created Urban Acolyte with your friends in mind, and now you're a Star Wars guru. And I would say, you know what? But those were never my intentions. And to be honest, because I pay attention to the people who become the super fans, I saw somebody say, I'm interested. I went to their personal Facebook profile. They're interested in meditation. I went to another guy's profile. Yes, I stalked some of y'all because I want to know what you're doing. And I told you, I'm on some other shit, right? My YouTube coach is Mr. Beast's YouTube coach. He's his manager. So the things I'm doing is what Mr. Beast does. So if you're a big fan of Mr. Beast might be all up in your shit looking at what you do when you're online. If you're interacting with him and he knows your name, he might be, let me go through his Facebook or her Facebook profile and see what kinds of things they like. Because it's then, I like that. And Mr. Beast is on that. I'm on that too. Man, I didn't know that, because he's been going through your stuff. Or maybe not him at this point. He's so big, he's got employees. But somebody at some point in time is, and I'm not making this up. I'm telling y'all because I wish I could show you the book that's right here, but I can't, because that's trade secret. That's YouTube trade secrets, right? But I looked at somebody, they were like, oh man, I'm interested in Buddhism and I'd like to go visit a Buddhist temple or go meditate somewhere, go to a Dharma talk. And I'm like, well, they watch me a lot and I talk about these things and I have videos on other channels to talk about these things. And I know that they've watched those videos because they've been in the comments, and it's like, that's it, right? Some people have got roped into this Star Wars thing. They're ready to take the next step, and I'm ready to take the next step with them. So it's like, man, I talk some shit on a Star Wars video, talk about the Mandalorian. It's a job, man. It's strictly business. If people get mad, if people get glad, it's strictly business, right? I gotta take some things to heart. I really need to go to bed reading Gary V and get through the last book he wrote, because what I'm feeling he talked about, right, is that you gotta kind of be agnostic when it comes to whatever you're creating. I gotta become agnostic with this channel. I know that's gonna disappoint some of y'all, but the truth is, some people are ready for the next step that I've already taken, and those are the people that, you know, Ray, these are your next steps. I can't fucking stay stuck on Jakku. And Takadana got blown the fuck up. So, you know, just like Ray had to take those next steps, I'm ready to take those next steps. Some of y'all are ready to take the next steps, and not everybody will, and it's okay. It's other people out there. Like I talk about making moves, and Prince, you can't do this. Let me ask you this. How do you think Nancy B feels? How do you think Gordon Brown feels? Who the fuck are they? Nancy B, Gordon Brown, and my man Davlin, who still watches the videos, or he pops up in the comments every now and then. Davlin from Arkansas, dog, you know I'm talking about you if you're watching this. When I started this channel, they were the first 3 subscribers. They came over from my older channel that I deleted. And I remember Davlin found me on Facebook. He was like, bro, what happened to all your videos, man? I tried to watch them and I couldn't find your channel. I was like, don't worry, man. I'm starting over from scratch. I'm going to move all the old videos. I'm uploading them right now, man. Check back in about 3 days and I have you right. And I remember I post videos that get 20 views. I don't know how many of them were me watching them over and over again. My mom might have watched a couple. I don't know. I had just gotten out of a relationship. Maybe she used to watch my videos. Maybe she found that new channel, was watching the videos, eating some ice. Well, she couldn't eat ice cream. She couldn't eat carbs. I don't know. Eating a raw, a hard-boiled egg. Like, fuck Prince. Fuck Prince. Drinking a Diet Coke. Talking about fuck Prince. Fuck him, girl. Fuck him. Right, with her new man. I think they've broken up since then, but whatever. I don't care. I'm married, happy, and in another country. Right, but Nancy B, Davlin, and Gordon Brown. Right, on that, for y'all that are subscribed to the other channel, when I was making all those videos about Hinduism, those weren't for me. I mean, I appreciate all the Indians that are watching those videos now. I don't appreciate how much the CPM in India sucks, right? I think like 30% of my views on that channel come from India every month, and I make nothing on AdSense revenue in India, right? But videos those weren't from me. That was Nancy B sending me emails asking me questions, and I would reply in videos because I had nothing to talk about. No one was watching except for, and then Gordon Brown had spent like 30 years in India with some like doing transcendental meditation, and I don't know, those were crazy, wild times. Gordon Brown is the reason y'all are watching this video, because he'd never seen Star Wars, and he was like, Prince, all the Star Wars stuff you mentioned, I don't know what you're talking about. Gordon Brown's the reason. And then he was like, oh, Prince, you're getting a bunch of views now, but I don't really want to watch the Star Wars stuff. And then every now and then I'd like re-upload those old videos and Gordon Brown would pop up again. I wonder how he's doing, man. I ain't heard from him in 3 years. I don't even know where Nancy B is. She made a Facebook pro because she was like not in the social media at all. She made a Facebook profile just to talk to me. She's married. I think her son was my age, so not like no crazy shit. Man, I miss them. See stuff like that, like people, Prince, you don't care about that. You don't offer the money and you're a Disney shill. No, man, the thing that I'm passionate about, it's not this. It's not this. I remember I made those Finn videos. I just wanted people to watch my videos, right? I was excited. I was like, I remember coming back starting that spring semester of Vanderbilt, I was like, yeah, I did these Star Wars videos over the break, and people are watching them, and it's cool to finally make videos after that 2016. So I've been making YouTube videos really since 2008, 2009, but all those videos have gotten deleted now for copyright stuff. Remember, I think the first video I uploaded was a episode of Judge Mathis, because my friend I talked to online was in Panama, and I kept telling her about the Judge Mathis episode. She couldn't watch it in Panama, so I was like, "Oh, I'll record it and then post it on YouTube, and then you can watch it." So I did that, and we talked about the episode, and then one day I deleted it. I made a couple of music videos from like songs I liked and pictures in Windows Movie Maker, and posted those to YouTube. Of course, those would have gotten taken down, copyright, whatever. Made some P90X videos. I remember when John the Badass Vegan, when he first went vegan, that's how far back I go, because he got famous doing P90X. He was in the ads in the mag. Well, not famous, because I didn't know until later that if Beachbody puts you in something, you don't get any money. You get the exposure, but you don't get any money. So if he was a Beachbody coach, then, that would have been made it a lot easier for him to get people signed up under him. But he launched his own fitness thing, and then he went vegan. And back then I didn't really know what vegan was. I just knew you didn't eat meat. I didn't know there was a difference between vegan and vegetarian. I just thought they were all a bunch of fucking weirdos. But yeah, he saw that I got inspired to do P90X because of him. He was thanked me for making the video, putting him in it. It was him and 3 or 4 other people that had YouTube testimonials, and I took their testimonial videos and made this P90X motivation video, and then showed how I got results after the first week on P90X. It was nice to be able to fucking work out in 3 days and have a 6-pack after 3 days. I might have to work out for 365 days to have a 6-pack. Well, by the time I'm 43, 42 and a half. Man, used to be easy to cut. Now it's not so easy. Bust my ass and I'll lose weight, gain it back the next day. Of course, I know as a trainer, scale doesn't mean shit. You need to take your measurements too, right? But I've been on YouTube a long time. I was just happy to get views, but now it's views don't matter to me now. It's the audience. Do I have the audience I want? And that's what, when people get on me in the comments, start talking about, oh, you didn't do this and you don't get shout outs from these people and blah, 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 blah. I'm like, man, you don't know enough about YouTube or my business to even talk. You don't know how YouTube works. You don't know why you're jealous of this person. Why would I ever be jealous of Doomcock, Mike Zero, hell, even Alex and Molly? Why would I be jealous of them? We do different things. Just because it says Star Wars on the video don't mean we're all after the same audience. Jeremy come in, and yes, Jeremy did come on here when he hit 100,000 subscribers and talk shit, and that's why he got banned or blocked or whatever the fuck, right? So you talk stuff about geeks and gamers, they don't acknowledge you. Well, all these people you're saying don't acknowledge me is because they can't. They literally can't, right? Star Wars Theories was going around asking people to watch his videos in a bunch of people's comments when he first started, and I blocked him. I was like, no, bruh, you can't come here and advertise your channel. Hey, man, whether he paid for his first 100,000 subscribers or he actually earned them, I don't know, right? I heard somebody say that he bought subscribers when he first started. I don't know if that's true or not true, right? And whether he did or didn't, I don't care, right? Some of y'all are, well, I watch Star Wars theories, Prince. I'm like, I don't care if you do. I don't have a scarcity mindset when it comes to this stuff, right? I'm not going to get upset that you watch this person and you watch this person. If you like the Phantom Menace and you watch me, I don't care. What you do is what you do in your own time. I don't watch any Star Wars channels. And that's not a diss against them. I don't watch. That's not what I want to watch, right? You know what the last YouTube video I watched was? It was a martial arts journey. He's got this video. Actually, I haven't finished watching the video. He was talking about, he went through, there was like, he's in Lithuania. If you never heard of him, he was a dude. He started Aikido when he was 14 years old. He became an Aikido instructor, had his own school, students, lots of them. Sounded like the school was successful. I don't know if he got in a fight or what, but somehow he realized this Aikido shit doesn't work. And I have students. I'm a sensei. It doesn't work. So he started studying Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and then MMA. And I think he's done some actual fights in the cage, right? So he's got an amateur fight record now. And that's why it's martial arts journey, right? It's his continued journey as a martial artist, right? I think it would be awesome if in 10 years down the line, he goes back to Aikido with everything that he's learning now. But that'll be an amazing journey. I've seen it happen with internal Chinese Kung Fu people where they were like, this art doesn't work. This sucks. They go take up something else that's a little bit more combative. They get in some fights, they get some real world experience, and then they come back later and they're like, you know what? The way my approach to this art didn't work, but it's actually a beautiful art. And I had a friend like that. He studied this one Bagua lineage. I don't know the name, but the dude, it's like it's a Korean guy. If you're in the Bagua, it won't take you long. You probably already know. The Korean guy is like, he's a Korean guy, right? And, I wanted to get into that particular lineage because, he had one like star pupil. Well, I won't say one star pupil, but he had one that was like kind of his fighter. He was a black dude that was in the army, stationed in Korea, started training with him, retired to Nashville, which is why I wanted to study with him. But I never got the chance to. You had to go through his students and they were doing all this gatekeeper bullshit and stuff. I remember sending the email and the guy sent me like a quiz and he was like, oh, what's your intent and blah, blah, blah. And back then I didn't know anything about, I was like, bro, I just got out of the Navy. I want to learn Bagua. My doctor was like, you need to take up Tai Chi or some internal martial art, either that or yoga. I was like, I'm not doing fucking yoga. I want to do Kung Fu, right? And, I was like, well, I heard this dude is like legit. He's like a master. I don't know about anything else, but I want to learn from that guy. And he's a veteran and he's black. And I think he'd be a great role model and mentor for me. And now I got to go through this white dude playing his fucking Kung Fu reindeer games and shit. And, I was like, man, fuck that. Fuck them. I met, this guy, Brian, not my Tai Chi teacher, Brian, another Brian. And he had that story. He started out, he was actually that guy. I can't think of his name now, but he was one of his students. And, then, he was like, this shit doesn't work. Like, I've been learning this cosmic palm circle walking stuff and it's bullshit. It doesn't work. And, he took up, Kali, Filipino martial arts, right? Dirty boxing from Filipino martial arts. Filipino dirty boxing is just Kali without the stick or the blade, right? Same thing. You're working the angles and footwork, but you letting them hands fly. You don't have a stick. Right? I went and saw him. Because he was teaching out of an MMA school, because he was like, yeah, they have a lot of bouncers and guys that do bodyguard work that are training here. And so I teach them like all the knife and stick stuff in Kali, and they give me the space. In exchange for, I have my students, but then the guys who, are training at the MMA gym, that was a really nice school. That's like the nicest MMA gym that I've seen in Middle Tennessee. I don't remember the name of it now, but at the time, and that was 2008, before a lot of the places that are there now. So y'all that are back home in Nashville and Murfreesboro area and parts in between, if you're like, oh man, no, I don't think so, Prince, is way better schools. This was 2008, before, now I think there's like a UFC guy that's got a gym somewhere in Nashville that's like super nice. But he wasn't there back then. He might have been up and coming, but he didn't have a gym. 12 years ago. But I remember at the time he was like playing around with mixing Kali with Bagua, and he was telling me it's starting to make a little bit more sense. Then he found like some other Bagua teacher in Vancouver, and I remember talking to him. I was like, yeah, man, how's you still doing any Kali? He was like, nope. He was like, I found this new teacher, and matter of fact, I'm getting out of Nashville. I'm moving to Washington State so I can be close to the teacher. I just crossed the border into Canada, go train with him. He crossed over into Seattle. He's like, I'm gonna run the things on the Washington side, right? He had other groups or whatever, and that was it, man. So he went back to it. So I'd love to see the martial arts journey, but I just went into this huge tangent on martial arts and stuff. That's what I care about, man. That's my passion, right? I'm an 80s kid, right? Who was big back then? After Return of the Jedi, it was Luke Skywalker, Leroy Green, Bruce Leroy, Ralph Macchio, Daniel LaRusso, the Last Dragon, Karate Kid, Return of the Jedi, Chuck Norris, even though I don't think I actually saw a Chuck Norris movie because they were too violent. But my mom studied under Joe Superfoot Wallace, and he fought Chuck Norris in some of his movies. So I knew about Chuck Norris because of Superfoot. Like my mom, I would always ask my mom, who was her karate teacher, and all she used to say was he fought Chuck Norris in a movie. Maybe she told me his name and I didn't remember it because I was so little, but I just always remember my mom's karate teacher fought Chuck Norris in a movie, right? I think it was more than one movie. I think Superfoot fought Jackie Chan in a movie too, but if she had said Jackie Chan back then, I wouldn't have known who the fuck she was talking about. She might have. I said I wouldn't have known who the fuck she was talking about. That's how I came into Star Wars. And so it was like, people are like, oh man, they ruined Luke Skywalker, and I guess they're loving it now that you kind of got to see a prime Luke Skywalker, even though he's not even, I wouldn't even consider him having hit his prime yet. It's only 5 years post Return of the Jedi, right? I would think prime Luke Skywalker's another 10 years away, right? Luke is about 28 now. I'm thinking his prime was like about around 40, when he dismantled the Knights of Ren, without breaking a sweat, right? They didn't want no parts of Luke, right? So so we haven't even seen prime Luke Skywalker yet, and I'm just like, whatever, right? It didn't ruin The Last Jedi, and Luke being depressed didn't ruin my childhood, because in my childhood I had so many heroes, right? I had all my toys, and I acted out that throne room scene from Return of the Jedi. I don't know how many times as a 7-year-old up in my room in Newark, New Jersey, And for all the New Jersey people, I only lived in Newark for 1 year. So, oh man, Prince, where you grew up? I lived in Newark for 1 year. I went to St. Mary's, I think St. Bernard's or it was some boys' school that had a really good basketball team back then. But I went to St. Mary's, and then I went to the YMCA after school every day. Mildred was there, so if you know something about Newark, and if you say you knew Mildred in 1987, then you probably knew me. If your name is Jason, hey, I'm sorry, but I kicked your ass so many times, but you kicked me in the shins with your penny loafers, and you made fun of my southern accent, so I had to give you a southern ass whooping. Right, so I lived in Jersey for 1 year. Then we moved back to the South, to Atlanta, and that was it. So I don't really call myself a Jersey kid, but I did lose my Southern accent while I was up there. The fuck is that? I don't know if my wife is watching something or what. But yeah, I had so many heroes that Luke Skywalker was one of many, and even back then I saw the connections, right? The rejection of, I didn't understand the hero's journey then, but rejection of the call, right? This person has received the call. There's something special about them, even though everybody has rejected them. They're the outcasts. Even Bruce Leroy is special about. He's this young kung fu master. Well, it's not really kung fu. It's Goju Ryu, karate. But he's Bruce Leroy. But he's the biggest geek, right? His little brother is cooler than he is. He's only cool when he's in the dojo or the dojang or the kwun, right? That's the only time he's cool, right? Everybody is like, you're the master. Even his own master is like, the final, you've already attained the final level. You just don't realize it, right? As Sifu says, you must recognize and realize that it's already there. And that's a Buddhist thing, right? Some schools of Buddhism, at least. The enlightenment is already there, right? It's really why Rey didn't train as a Jedi. She doesn't need to train as a Jedi. It's already there. I was going to say this. I should have said it a long time ago. But there's something in Luke Skywalker, like the Journal of Luke Skywalker, whatever this book is called, where he seems to kind of reference something about Grogu. It was like children don't have they're not like tied to the light side or the dark side of the Force. They just use the Force without regard to sides, right? This is a dark side ability. They just use the Force. The Force is just an extension of them, right? And they just do things. And I wondered when I read that earlier in the year if Luke was talking about Baby Yoda at the time. And now, I mean, he most definitely was. That was a reference to Grogu. And I thought about it. I missed it. Oh, Prince, now you say it now. Well, yeah, now I'm saying it now. I actually thought about this a few days ago. I kept saying before, I was like, I got the book. I wish I could go look at it. It might have been in reference to Luke and Ahsoka, but I remembered reading that, and the book was packed. Now I don't know where it's over there somewhere, on the other side of my desk. I'm not gonna look, but yeah, I don't know, y'all. The Mandalorian. That's it. It's a wrap. We'll have to wait for next year. And Grogu, I don't do predictions. I don't like them. That's why I don't like theories and speculations, all that shit. But I think that Grogu's going to return to the story. He's going to return to Din Djarin. I don't think he's going to be a formal student of Luke, maybe like Leia, where she trained with Luke for a little while and then she had to go do something else, right? Just like Luke would train with Yoda and then it was like, I got to go save my friends. Maybe Grogu comes back actually in better command of the Force, where he doesn't get tired and pass out or whatever. Maybe that's what his time with Luke is going to be, to help him learn how to focus. Because I don't really feel like Luke has much to teach him other than how to focus, right? It's just a little bit of formal training. Grogu's had more Jedi training than Luke, right? Well, except for time passes differently on Dagobah. So where Luke might have spent a few days or weeks with Yoda, it could have been months that he was there, because time passes differently, right? That's a Star Wars thing. Time doesn't pass the same on every planet. And I think there was like time on Dagobah is like time on Mortis, where, Anakin and Ahsoka and Obi-Wan seemed to be there for several days, but when they left Mortis, it was like the minute they went to Mortis, they were already back. Like it was like the blink of an eye, right? It all happened within the blink of an eye, several days or weeks. So we don't know how much time he actually spent there with Yoda on Dagobah both times. But just looking at, standard space, Grogu was at the Jedi Temple probably when Anakin was there, maybe even before Anakin got there, right? So Grogu had as much training as Anakin Skywalker or more, but he was a baby the whole time, right? They said he had several masters. So I think, like I said, I think Grogu is going to be away while they move the story forward with whatever challenges are awaiting Din Djarin next, right? We got the Book of Boba Fett. Is that a spinoff, or is that going to be an actual thing? Is that what we're going to be dealing with in season 3? Is that Boba Fett is now going to become a crime lord on Tatooine, right? He took out, the folks that were there in Jabba's palace. He shot all of them up. And then he took his seat at the throne with Fennec Shand at his side. Is that so we're going to spend all the next season dealing with shit on Tatooine, but at the same time, Din Djarin's got the Darksaber. Bo-Katan's just gonna let that ride, or is she gonna, is she gonna say, well, you said whatever I want. Once the child is rescued, the child is with the Jedi. Now you need to devote your path to me or to the restoration of Mandalore. Is she gonna try to stab him in the back to get the Darksaber, or is she gonna, step aside and say, you know what, I had my time. Now this is your time, and and I'm the boon giver, right? I'm giving you the boon of knowledge of what it means to be a true Mandalorian. You took off your helmet. We all saw your face. You're not a child of the Watching. You're not bound to them anymore. You can't go back if you wanted to, because I'll tell them. Right? And there's some things you should know about them, because I was part of that, right? House Saxon and House Saxon and House Saxon. No, Gar Saxon is House Saxon. What was he descended from the Mandalorian Jedi. Why can I not think of his name? Or the clan Vizsla, right? House Vizsla and then Clan Saxon. Yeah. House Vizsla was disgraced, right? Because Jon Favreau's character was a Vizsla, wasn't he? It was somebody Vizsla, and he was one of the children of the Watch. I'm thinking they were disgraced and they joined that too, because you shouldn't be a descendant of Tar Vizsla and be part of this cult unless you're really in on it. And that's a possibility. He was really in on it, like some kind of leader in it. Because, you're related to the dude who thought he should be Mandalore and who led Death Watch. So Bo-Katan knows something more about that. And she's got this boon of knowledge. She's got to become the mentor to Din Djarin. or she could be the setting him up to take a fall. So he's got an interesting story that's going to continue. And I don't know where this Boba Fett thing fits in. Boba Fett, I thought it would be kind of a redemption for him in season 3. You did hear he'd play a big part in season 3. So is it a spinoff? Is it another spinoff? And he's doing the Mandalorian, where it's like, yo, this is looking at what he was doing, why he never came back from his armor, why he let Cobb Vanth run around in his armor, and he's just there on Tatooine doing whatever? Or is this, he's getting a spinoff and he's a central part? Spinoff meaning there's his story and what relates to The Mandalorian season 3. I have literally no idea. I mean, the way that epilogue was, just like the epilogue for season 2 ended with Moff Gideon with the Darksaber, I would think that, yeah, it would be the Book of Boba Fett, and that Din Djarin is, I mean, like, I think about it, maybe season 3 is just about Boba Fett, and Din Djarin's not really doing anything, and that's why there's all these spin-off shows. It could be spin-off shows where it's like the story is focused on these other people and Din Djarin like cameos. That would make a lot of sense. It's like Din Djarin technically doesn't have a story. He's got the Darksaber. You've got, the new Rangers of the New Republic, Book of Boba Fett going on, which they were like, oh, they're filming a Boba Fett spinoff, and that might be actually The Mandalorian, but The Mandalorian's filming too. I really have no idea that's why I was like, I don't do predictions, because I'm the one asking questions, right? And I'm just looking at everything. Well, there's a question about this, there's a question about that, there's this strand, and this is what you need to pay attention to, right? Davlin summed it up the best. He was like, Prince, the thing I like about you is you say what you're thinking, and then you leave everybody else up to figure out what they think, right? And that's why it's the Thinking Man's channel. Anything I do is you got to think, because I'm going to say, look, I don't think this is going to happen, but that's what I think. What do you think? Why do you think that? Don't repeat what you heard from someone else. Sit down and think about it, analyze it. And what do you get out of this? Then when you have to deal with a real life problem, you will learn how to remove yourself from the situation. What is going on with, I haven't even looked at my screen or nothing. What's going on here? I don't care. It's been like that. Just fucking leave it. Remove yourself from this situation, analyze the situation, and then come up with your plan of action. That's the lesson from 900 videos on Star Wars, is just to learn how to do that. If you can learn how to do that, you will be calm in stressful situations, right? Being a newlywed, not even 1 year married, it'll be 1 year at the end of January. So we're, about 11 months into it, 10 and a half, whatever, I don't care. Me and my wife had gotten in the fights, arguments. She said stuff, and I just been like, man. And I have to remove myself from it, and realize she's upset, she's venting. We're from different cultures. Maybe that thing she said is okay, or maybe she didn't mean to say it that kind of way. And I have the choice of how I'm going to respond, right? And we're both hot-headed people, right? We were both hot-headed. And it's like, well, I can just let her vent and go from there, because she's very in the moment type of person. She's angry for the moment, and that's it. When we went down to Pattaya, I had my passport in my backpack that I carry my laptop in. when we moved. For some reason, I took my passport out and put it in my other backpack that I usually carry when we shop. And for some reason, I thought that I had I forgot that I switched to backpacks. We were going on a short trip, and she was like, take your laptop. And I was like, in my head, I'm like, why am I taking my laptop? If I need to make a quick video, I just do it on my phone and just not worry about it, and I'll make the thumbnail and whatever when I get back. But I was like, well, maybe I'll make the thumbnail anyway on my laptop and then upload it. And I'm like, every time we go somewhere to a hotel, there's shitty Wi-Fi. So again, why am I taking... So the whole point was like, I wasn't planning on taking my laptop or my backpack. I carried my laptop in. I was going to carry my Adidas backpack that actually had my passport. So we get there, and then, we're about to get on the bus, and there was a bunch of traffic. When we took the taxi to the bus station, he's like, do you have your passport? And then I thought about it. I was like, nope. Nope, I ain't got it. She went off. Man, she went off. And I was like, you know what? I can get mad back. But it was really on me. I don't have it. But I knew, I was like, but we're going to the city where we used to live. Our landlord at the condo where we just moved out of has like all my information, everything, like photocopies and everything. 'Cause she's kind of my, I don't know what you call it, like my representative for all my visa stuff. Like, I can't say what I'm about to say because I might get myself in trouble. But yeah, all my visa stuff, she's kind of my representative that handles all of that for me. Like, goes to immigration. She had to vouch for me when we moved here because, this is a topic from my other video. I want to do a video on like racism in Thailand and stuff, and I'm like, you can't really call it racism. It's just different, right? Because I've seen other black guys that vlog in Thailand, and they're like, yeah, man, it's all kinds of microaggressions and this and that. And I'm like, no, they thought you were African. That's what it is. You can't really call it racism. There's like, they see a black person, they think you're African. They find out you're American, they act different, right? So she had to vouch for me on here. So I was like, we'll figure something out. So I'm like, I'm not going to let her vent. I'm not going to be angry. So all of this, you have to learn how to examine stories, because when you can examine a story and you can look at it from different angles, different perspectives, different points of views, guess what? Everything is a story. Life is a story. You'll learn how to do it yourself, and you'll learn how to make decisions differently, right? It'll change your decision making. But I mean, people don't give a shit about that. The average person doesn't. The average person just want to stay focused on mundane, dumb shit, right? That's why, everybody wants to be extraordinary when everyone's really just ordinary. We're all ordinary at something, but, most people, that's why Osho was like, just be ordinary, because everybody else is striving to be extraordinary when they're really not. So make it your effort to be ordinary. And when I say be ordinary, learn storytelling, understand storytelling, learn how to go in and evaluate the story and pick it apart and see it from different angles and different points of views. If you can't do that already, that's what I invite you to do. If I keep talking about Star Wars and Marvel and everything else on this channel, I can't make you meditate. I can't make you get interested in internal martial arts. I can't make you understand that, there are real people out there who just might be the closest thing to a Jedi in the real world. I don't know of any anymore. Well, I knew of one, but he died in February. And some of his students watch my videos on this channel and maybe some of my other channels. I shouldn't say that because I've been contacted by a few of them. So yeah, they actually do. Not lying. But I'm not trying to make you believe any of that. And I can't make you do something that, you might not want to do. But I can invite you. Mike Rendell is like, yo, man, I think I know what Prince's 3 questions are going to be. And I don't know if what he was thinking is what I said, but he's starting to get there, or maybe he was already there. I don't know. I'm not going to take credit for that because I don't do that. Maybe some of you already do it, and all I'm trying to do is make you realize, oh, I've been doing that all along. I should apply that skill all the time, every day. It'll improve my life. It might make me some money or something. I might handle a situation and impress somebody, and I don't know. They might say, hey, I got this incredible opportunity. I need this is what happened to John Chang, right? It was like, I need a person to manage all my shipping in and out of Indonesia in this like port. And, the job doesn't pay much, but you get a cut out of everything that gets shipped at, like every purchase. And so it doesn't pay much, but every purchase that gets made here, and there's like millions of dollars of merchandise that moves through that guy's business every year, and he's getting a cut of millions of dollars of. I'm not crying. You cry. I'm tired. I'm just talking to these people about pointless bullshit at this point. It's supposed to be about, did you know that Baby Yoda's not going to be on the show anymore? He's with Luke Skywalker. You know who Luke Skywalker is? She doesn't know who Luke Skywalker is, because she didn't give a shit about the Mandalorian. Just like the Mandalorian doesn't give a shit about being Mandalore. It's like, I kind of don't give a shit. Can you make me some? Try it. It's like, I don't give a shit about being the best Star Wars YouTuber. I just make videos and talk about this stuff until I get tired of it, or my other channels take off and I'm too busy to do it. And I keep inviting you guys, if you really want to see how deep the rabbit hole goes, holler at me on my other channels. I got a lot of work as far as research to do on the back end. But once I get all of that done, the videos are getting ready to start rolling out. I told you I got like 2-3 memory cards full of GoPro footage that I got to go through. We hit the Batu Caves. It's like this huge Hindu temple in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. Man, that was a funny day. This damn monkey jumped on this dude and tried to take his ice cream. I didn't get that on film. I took a picture like right when the monkey jumped up and took the dude's ice cream, but I didn't like record it. What else? We visited a Taoist temple that day. We hit like 3 temples that day in Malaysia. I got a funny ass story that I hope I don't forget. And all of this happened like right after the Rise of Skywalker. Like I saw the Rise of Skywalker Thursday. We got up Friday, flew to Malaysia, spent the weekend there, stayed in Chinatown. This cool hotel, but the room was like the size of my office. Probably with the bathroom too. Yeah, that room was about the size of my office. It was fucking small. That's why it took me so long to get my full review of The Rise of Skywalker, and I never got around to reviewing Ip Man 4, which I had a press screener of that one from Wellgo USA, because I had nowhere to like set up anything to record a video or anything. It was like a little walkway, a bench, the bed, and the bathroom. That was our room. We went to Vietnam and March, right before the lockdowns, we hit, it was like just in a straight line in the Nha Trang, Vietnam. I remember some of y'all that were on the other channel, y'all saw me do that live stream from like the cable car. It was like a 10-minute live stream because we went to the amusement park, and I told y'all the story about like the dude, like the Ciclo drivers tried to scam Nisa, and I was like halfway asleep. I didn't understand the money. She paid the guy, and he kept asking for like more money. He's like chasing her, trying to get her pocketbook. And then I like pulled out my phone. I was like, I'm calling police. And if I had understood that she paid him already, because I was like, why? I was like, pay him. I was like, why won't she pay him? Man, that's weird. I gotta have my head on a swivel next time we travel. I got stories from there. As much as I like to go back to Nha Trang, I definitely will have to have my head on a swivel, because it was like every minute somebody was trying to scam us. One point, the taxi driver stopped at this like cafe, and these ladies were like, you need to buy tickets to and we'd already been to the amusement park once, so we knew, like, drop us off right before we get on the cable car, you buy your tickets there. And they were like, no, you got to buy your tickets here. And the lady's like winking at Nisa, because I guess she thought she was Vietnamese, like I met her there, or, some of y'all know the deal about meeting girls and the kind of girls you can meet when you go overseas to different countries and whatnot. You meet a wife for the day, or you hire a wife for the week. I'll let y'all figure that out. So they thought it was one of those deals, and they thought she was Vietnamese, and Nisa's like, why are you winking at me? What, why are you, I don't speak Vietnamese. You got to speak English, or you speak Thai, Puri Thai. Right? They're like, and she was like, no, just take us to the amusement park. We'll buy tickets there. They're like, no, you have to buy tickets. I was like, no, fuck you. We'll take us there. Why'd you stop? Right? Because he's in on the con too, right? We'll have us buy some overpriced tickets, and they all get a cut. So I got all kinds of stuff coming out over there, like life stuff, religion stuff, religion discussions, everything, right? Fun channel. This has turned into one of those podcast episodes, but that's really all I got for this one, man. Like, I wanted to come back later and review all of season 2, but I just like I've kind of checked out. Just like, season 2's over. It was after Ahsoka. It was like, what's gonna happen? I saw it as soon as, well, like I said, I had the episode spoiled, but as soon as I saw the title of the episode was The Rescue, I was kind of like, well, I'd prefer there to be a cliffhanger. Then we have a lot to talk about. But for me, seeing Luke, like I said, that doesn't really excite me. Because now it's just like, well, either Grogu stayed with Luke and we just didn't know it, and then Kylo Ren kills him, or he isn't with Luke the whole time, right? Okay, so Luke was the one who responded to the call, but how long was Grogu with Luke? And what happens next? Right? It's the Mandalorian, but it's always kind of been, no, this is the Baby Yoda show. Now it really is about the Mandalorian and Mandalore and whatever story spin off from this, and whatever is going on with the Imperial Remnant. What's Moff Gideon really up to, and how is he going to escape? Is he in league with Palpatine? Right? I just would have preferred this to have been its own separate story. Right, and not really attached to the Skywalker stuff. But then again, I said the story is going to run parallel, and Luke is involved, they might as well have Moff Gideon working for Palpatine, right? That the whole purpose of getting Grogu was to figure out if Palpatine, how to make a specimen that Palpatine can transfer his body into, his essence into, and it not degrade itself, right? If, like I said, if Grogu's blood has regenerative properties, then technically that would mean that Palpatine can transfer his essence into a body that regenerates. That's where I'm going to end the video. So, I don't know, man. Season 3 of The Mandalorian, will I still be doing this? Fuck, I really don't know. You know, I talked to my friend Ash about YouTube and everything else, and I'm like, yo, man, Scarlet Witch and Vision, that show comes out in January. There are 4 MCU movies coming out in 2021. I don't know when the next Star Wars thing is coming. I would rather talk about Marvel because there's more discussions to be had. I'd rather do that. And with Marvel, I don't know enough to speculate on. All I can say is, yo, man, this is the hero's journey, and this is how this story works out from the way I see it. And these are the things that I see, the themes I identify, and, you know, and it becomes a real discussion because I'm not reading the comic books. I'm watching the movies and the shows, and I leave it at that. Focus on the MCU, the actual MCU, like that universe, not the underlying stuff, source material. I'm not reading that. I ain't got time. So I don't know. It's be an interesting year. And like I said, I'm more excited for all the Spider-Man stuff that I didn't make videos on because my Spider-Man videos all suck. But win, lose, or draw, at the end, it's all the same. If a video gets 200 views, man, I'll just keep working at it. One day it'll get 400 views, 600 views, 800 views, and maybe in 6 months it goes viral. You know, jumps out 100,000 views. You know, I have to start from somewhere. And with those, I can make them much shorter. I can't ramble on about Marvel. I'm kind of tired of making these off the dome long ass videos. I just want to make a 10, 12 minute video and be done because it takes a long time to edit or render these videos. I'm not editing them. But I have other channels that I want to work on. Really, I really do. Next year, I want to do other stuff. I don't want to just be Star Wars at all. Because I like y'all, but I don't like the community. I like my community. I don't like the rest of the Star Wars community. I just don't. Like, I don't plan on going to Star Wars Celebration. If somebody sends me there, that's different. If I'm there as press, that's different, right? If I sign with a company and they give me press credentials and they're like, yo, we're going to fly you out there, then I'm pressed. Like I said, that's work. But out of my pocket, I don't care if EA recruited Dash and Alex and Star Wars Theory and Star Wars Battlefront Update, Elliot, is that his name? All of them to come out and, we'll take you to steak dinner and we want you guys to be part of our promo team. We're going to pitch Battlefront and we're going to bring you out to the campus to play the game and let you, you'll be the first ones to cover it on YouTube and this. I'm not that guy, right? Somebody was like, you promoting Dash and then he's doing this and you're not doing that. I'm like, well, you're commenting on shit that you don't know enough about to even comment on. I know how Dash got that, right? One, Mitch was in the gaming community already, right? Did he work for Curse or somebody? And then, Celebration weekend, they were all there and they all got invited to, the pitch and this is going on. And I didn't go because I had stuff going on in my life and I was planning on going and it was like, oh shit, I can't. No, I wasn't going. I wasn't planning to go. I know Chris at, homie Chris Ryan said something about they would have a place for me to crash. And I didn't want to really say anything because Geekdom was hoping I'd go down there, hang with him. But no, my Sifu had a seminar that same time. And I was like, yo, if I can only go to one, I'm going and I'm picking Kung Fu. Like, I don't care if there's a business opportunity, what, I'm choosing Kung Fu. I'm being real to who I am, not, oh, well, it's Star Wars and I was like, why did I do this? So that I can go train with Sifu, so that I can do Jedi shit with my friends. And that's really how it is. Why do I do this? So I can go do Jedi shit with my friends. If you want to see me, then you need to come do Jedi shit with me and my friends, right? If you really want to be on the inside, you need to come do Jedi shit with me and my friends. That's really the end of it, right? And even my wife too, even though she doesn't know anything about Jedis, she doesn't care about that stuff. But she's been doing Jedi shit for a long time. Just not Jedi shit. It's that real shit, right? She was correcting me on meditation back in the condo. I was impressed. She was like, no, your back's not straight enough. Your posture's all wrong. You can't breathe right. You got to have your hands in this mudra like this. And you can do it like this sometimes. You got to sit this way, this posture. I was like, I'm impressed. Very impressed. That's what I'm about, man. And that's where I'm moving. Right? Like I said, everybody, we're not all the same. Right? We're not all the same. I'm trying to push people to do a certain thing. Some people are just here to entertain you or to teach you Star Wars trivia. That's not me. I'm not here to talk about the entertainment industry and the downfall of society, and I'm gonna rant and rave about Kathleen Kennedy and how I want Star Wars to be better and make Star Wars great again. And, you know, shout out to the dude who's running around talking about make Urban Acolyte great again. Bitch, I've always been great. The fuck you talking about? Maybe you just aren't ready to take that next step to where I am. And that's okay, right? Everybody's got their own thing that they want to do. And I got my own thing that I want to do. And I'm going to do it. That's the Mandalorian season 2, y'all. This has been really a reflection of the season and a reflection of this whole year in Star Wars. I'm kind of tired of faking it, right? I like Star Wars and there's nothing wrong with liking Star Wars, but the Star Wars community fucking sucks and I'm tired of dealing with them. Tired of dealing with dumb shit and dumbass shits. Just being real. I just want to do my own thing and make the content that I enjoy. And you know, if the trolls want to follow me over there, hey man, that's great. All you're doing is speeding up my ascent to greatness. So, you know, if you feel like you're gonna accomplish something by, I'm gonna find every channel Prince has and thumbs down the video and talk shit in the comments. Well, I've already got trolls on that channel, right? Every niche, everywhere you go, you're always gonna have haters. And it's like, hey man, if nobody's hating you, then maybe you aren't saying enough to push to provoke the people who need to be provoked, right? Sometimes you have to say stuff to get people to move into action, and that's going to make some people uncomfortable, right? And I'm okay with making people uncomfortable, right? Hell, getting in shape at 40 is going to be real. My feet real uncomfortable from all the jump ropes and kettlebell swinging. But hey, man, there's good stress, there's bad stress. And the only way to change your body, the only way to change your mind, the only way to change another person is through stress, right? Got to go through that fire to purify yourself. That's all I'm going to say. I'm out, y'all. Keep on breathing, and I'll holler at you on the next video. Maybe.